And so this is really the official kickoff here, and I want to welcome you to listen to this broadcast today, because not only do we have a professional that's been, I don't know how many years of Facebook, he'll get to that in a second, but we actually have somebody who understands business, because I think what you'll hear today that Facebook ads, while of course awesome platform, can't get past that, right? It's not just about Facebook. In fact, what we get questions about here, and I'm sure you do too, Azriel, is, well, what do I really need to get started to get Facebook ads up and rolling, right? So how do I get ready is kind of the essence of this interview today, to get Facebook ads started. And let me just also preface by this to say, Azriel, when I get questions about this, you know, they want to get into the technicalities of Facebook very quickly, but I was just watching the funnel hacking live yesterday with Russell Brunson.
Yeah.
And he talks about, you know, the hook, right? The story and the offer, and that, you know, this is so critical to make really anything work online, especially ads. And Dan Kennedy talks about the triangle: message, market, media, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's absolutely
all of these things are just very interesting to me. And how do you explain this, and how do you sort of let people understand that not only is this important, but you need to understand the steps to get there? So maybe that's a preface that I wanted to start with, and let you kind of take it here for a few minutes and just explain, what do you really need to get started with Facebook ads?
Absolutely. Well, first I'm going to say thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
Awesome.
So at the end of the day, when you're running Facebook ads, the only way to know if something is working is to look at the data, right? So you're running your ads. You have different ad sets competing against each other. You have different ads competing against each other. And then based on what you see in the data, that's how you know what to tweak and how to fix and whatever you want to do on Facebook. The problem is that if you don't know information before you show up to do your ads, the data doesn't help you. And I talk about three things all the time. If you have a bad audience, if you have a bad offer, or if you have a bad funnel, those three different scenarios show you the same data in your Facebook ads. So if you have a bad audience, you could have the best funnel and the best product, but the CPMs will be high, the CPCs will be high, the time on site will be low, and the conversion will be low.
Yeah.
Now, if you switch it to the other one, if you have a good audience and you have a good product, but you have a bad funnel, again, your CPMs will be high, your CPCs will be high, your time on site will be low, and your conversion will be low. The same thing for the third one, if it's shocking. It's the same 4 data points. The CPM's high, CPC's high, and time on site is low. That means that you don't know what is wrong with your ads. The very fact that I can look at data and not know what to do is a very serious problem. So before I ever go to start a Facebook ad, I want to confirm I know at least 2, if not 3, of the following questions. 1, who is the person that most benefits from this product? 2, what is their largest pain point that if they were scrolling through Facebook, they saw it read across the screen, they would immediately stop whatever they were doing and read the ad? And 3, what is the solution to that problem that the minute they saw that product, they know they need to buy it? So if I can answer those 3 questions, I can show up knowing that I'm running to the right people, I'm saying the right thing, and I'm selling them the right product. But you can never know that if you show up on Facebook and run ads before you've done the work of actually getting organic reach, whether that's on YouTube or Pinterest or Facebook groups or Instagram or YouTube, Google SEO, or however, or showing up at malls and handing out flyers. However you get organic reach, you can actually learn who the people are that want to come to your website. You can learn how they engage with different pages on your website. The last thing you want to do, and I see it way too often, is businesses showing up and saying, I have an offer and it works well and it's great, but I want to do something different on Facebook. Why would you want to do something different on Facebook? You want to do exactly what's been working, exactly the people that sell, that buy, the exact messaging that gets them to buy, and the exact product that they purchase every single day. But so many businesses I know say, well, that's already working. I now want to focus on this other thing. I want to build a new product for Facebook ads. And it's a huge mistake because they don't have the data behind that product to know if it's the ads, the targeting, the messaging, or the actual product that they're trying to sell that isn't working.
Yeah.
So you want to have as much of this data. You want to have as much knowledge of who the people are, where they spend their time. Is Facebook even the right platform? You'd hope, but right, you don't know. Like, is Facebook even the right platform to be talking to these people on? Is the wording you're using in your ad the right type of messaging? But if you spent the time to actually test these things and A/B test your landing pages and A/B test your funnels before you ever start spending money on ads, you'll be showing up to Facebook ads with an entire data set of, I know who to reach. Not only do I have amazing data for now, but I can create really good lookalike campaigns because I already have a whole list of emails and purchasers and all this stuff. I just took out my microphone because I'm so excited. That gives you all of this additional data and material to use and stuff to intelligently test. And I know so many people that just show up to Facebook ads and say, oh, my money will test for me. If you want your money to test for you, you better have like tens of thousands of dollars to spend on testing, because you're probably going to like flush it all down the toilet.
Right. Well, that's a nice capture, and you don't get that from reading a book or two. That's excellent. That's excellent. Now, let me post this out to you. So yeah, so understanding the data, I mean, it's essential. And let's say that you have a company that's maybe been running, Google Ads, AdWords, maybe they've been running YouTube, they have SEO going, they have some data, right? But they've never really tried Facebook. One of the things you said is Facebook even right for you? But what would be a couple of things that you might do to say, okay, I got some data. Facebook may or may not fly. Yes, we're doing a few things organic, but we haven't validated yet. What could be some things that they might do to get that validation in the first 30 days or a few weeks even?
So the first people I want to run Facebook ads to are my 6 core audiences: email subscribers, website visitors, Facebook page likes, Facebook page engagement, Instagram page engagement, and if relevant, your Facebook friends. There is actually a way to run ads to your Facebook friends, which is a really cool little hack, I guess they would call it these days. But essentially, you're able to run ads to the friends of Facebook likes, right? So if you create a brand new Facebook page that no one's liked before, and you like the page, you can run ads to all the friends of the likes of the page, but you're the only like on the page.
Yeah.
So essentially, those are the 6 core audiences. So if you already have website visitors, you already are sending traffic in from YouTube and Google and wherever it is, and people are buying. But what about all the people that aren't buying, right? The average e-commerce website is a conversion rate of 3 to 5%. That means that 95 to 97% of people did not buy when they came to your website from Google. So how are you going to get them to come back? You're going to run another Google ad for another, $3 to get a click? Or you're going to turn around and say, all those 10,000 people that came in didn't buy, if I can get another 1% of them from Facebook ads, and I could spend 37 cents a click instead of $4, like whatever the Google, I don't know what Google's up to these days. Like, I'm spending $2 just to get a click from Google, or $8 to get a click from LinkedIn. So if I'm able to take my existing website visitors and make sure they buy, Facebook's a really great place to just collect all of the people that fell through the cracks, didn't buy the first time. That same thing is true with your email subscribers. If they got on your email list but they never bought, they're the best people to run ads to. And once you've built out, so now obviously how much money you can end up spending, it really depends on how much traffic you have to your website. If you have 1,000 clicks a whole month, maybe you'll spend $5 a day. If you have 1,000 clicks every hour, you could probably spend $1,000 a day and not run out of people to talk to.
Right.
So it really depends how much money to spend. But I say that the first $2,000 of ad budget per month should just be focused on your existing warm audiences, those 6 core audiences. And whenever you start a new campaign, again, just like the last question, the last thing you want is variables you don't know the answers to. If I'm going to start a Facebook campaign and start running to interests, well, how do I know the people want? How do I know it's the right people? How do I know it's the right offer? How do I know it's the right message? How do I know it's the right tone? How do I the right? Maybe the color's wrong. Like, I don't even know. There's so many variables to think about when running Facebook ads. But if I know, well, I use a Google ad, it gets people to my website, and then 3% of those people buy. So that means that's a really good audience to start running ads to. Or just the add to carts, right? Just all the people that add to cart, you're losing, 67% of people are abandoning their cart. That means that just those 67% of people are a really great audience to run ads to. Every day you're not running those ads, you're losing money. But at the same time, those are the best, that's the best bang for your buck on Facebook.
Yeah. No, that's killer, man. That is some real jewels here today. And actually, in line with that, what do you find in terms of that retargeting strategy for Facebook to be working the best? I mean, you have a lot of different ad types, of course, now, and you have, of course, the static creative, like an image, and then you have videos, you know, slideshows, you have the carousel, you know, all of the different types. But what is like one or two things that you found to be the killer retargeting strategy for creative media?
So the first thing you have to get up if you're e-commerce is for sure those DPA ads.
Yeah. Dynamic
Yeah. So for those who are not familiar, you literally connect your Shopify or WooCommerce store. It indexes all of your products. It takes the pictures, it takes the titles, it takes the descriptions and everything. And all you have to do is just write a text on top, and it automatically just gives them a slideshow of your best performing products. And it's really easy to get up, and it's well worth. I've seen returns of like 7, 8, 9, 10 times return on abandoned carts for DPAs. That's the first thing I'd get up. Now, for years, we're talking about like since late 2016, I've been telling people the best way to run ads is a video. And I don't care if what you have to do to get a video up, it's got to be a video. So I would tell people, like, create a slideshow, like make 5 images, make a slideshow. Yeah. But in the last 6 to, I would say, like, let's say since late December, I have seen images perform better than I've seen them perform in years. So I don't know if that's because videos aren't as good on ads. I'm not prepared to say that. I don't have that data point yet. I'm not prepared to say that yet. But what I am seeing is that images are working as well as videos are. And it's worth to test images. Also note, Facebook changed the standard size on images to squares, like video and images to squares. It's definitely worth testing a square image or video versus a landscape image or video.
Yeah, the one-to-one, yeah.
But I have seen powerful imagery work as well as a video in the last couple of weeks. So don't abandon. I would say bring back images, because a lot of people stop running image ads. It's worth bringing those back. I've been seeing those work recently.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, and you know, I like to talk about customer journeys, as I know you do too, and top, funnel, middle, bottom, and it's like ice cold traffic over here on this side or that side, whichever you belong to. Kind of the warm audiences and the super hot, you know, the subscribers versus the buyer lists and all of that. But I think you're absolutely right. It belongs to that whole category of it depends. You need to test it and validate it within your own environment because just like you said, hey, images are coming back. Well, you know, we can support that with data, but does that apply to your financial services business or your e-comm brand, whatever? You got to actually test it. And having a creative team and having guys and gals who can know how to position your message and really send it out there in the right manner, that's part of the journey for creating Facebook ads, obviously. So
100%.
And actually, what I also wanted to ask you is just these last 2 questions as we come to a close. I really appreciate your time here today. I know you're busy.
Absolutely.
So, the first question is, what are some of the, and you probably get this asked a lot, but you almost have to ask it during these interviews. What are some of the tools, some of the sort of, I guess, widgets or whatever out there that you use or that you would recommend maybe for reporting and for capturing data? Because obviously the ads manager itself, I mean, you have a lot of reporting within that, the analytics portion of Facebook, but we also use third-party tools for helping out with that. And of course, these funnels can get kind of complex, and Facebook doesn't always capture all the data. You got Google Analytics, you know, you got, you know, Wicked Reports, and there's a lot. And I know I'm throwing sort of number of things, but if you think about 2 or 3 tools, there's like you must use, whichever, you know, on the top of funnel or all the way at the reporting end. What are some of those tools that you recommend you must have as your arsenal there?
So I have like this shtick, if you will, about specifically using Facebook Ad Manager. So there are amazing tools out there, like Ad Espresso, fantastic, like amazing tools. There's actually this company that I got to do a little bit of work with called Leadza, which is spelled like Lead, Z-A, Leadza, and they're an AI system that essentially looks at all of your ad campaigns and will actually like suggest to you to test different things. Like maybe you should test only in this placement or this age group or a new lookalike audience you haven't tested and stuff like that. And it's actually really great. But at the end of the day, I know for myself that I need to be in Facebook Ad Manager because Facebook is making changes so often that if you leave the platform for a week and come back, you might not even recognize it anymore.
Yeah, that is so true.
So I want to be in there because I want to see, for example, I assume you know this whole thing with the CBOs, the campaign budget optimization.
Yeah.
A huge change to what will dramatically change how people are approaching ads. I'll tell you, for years, the way I ran ads, I had one campaign, I had a dozen ad sets, each one had its own budget, and I just, based on how it did, I just, raised or lowered the ad budgets. Since the CBOs came out, my new approach, totally different. I have campaigns based on how, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, and then I put a bid cap on the actual ads, on the ad sets. So I'll have, my 17, I don't know, whatever, my 8 different ad sets within the campaign for top of funnel. And I'll say, make sure not to spend more than $13 per sale on this level, and make sure not to spend more than $8 on this level, and make sure not to spend more than, so that's how, a totally different way of setting up your ad sets. But if you were using Ad Espresso and you didn't even know this tool existed, and now coming in October, it's going to be standard across all ad campaigns. If you didn't have the time to sit in and notice these buttons changing and who knows what, you're going to be like, literally the way you run ads is totally different because you're sitting in the ad campaigns in Ad Manager every day. So I am very pro using Ad Manager straight up, but it's true. There are some data points, time on site, conversion rates. You don't see those things on Facebook. How long is someone spending on whatever specific page between add to cart and initiate checkout? It's really important to have those numbers in front of you. Google Analytics is crucial, but obviously there's way more, between Hotjar and Click, what's it called? This is one that, like, same type of thing as Hotjar. Like, they literally show you where's the person getting stuck on the page. So obviously there's like no end to the number of analytics tools you can get. But at the end of the day, just make sure you have the basics set up, right? Like most people don't even have that. Just Facebook, create a good report in Facebook. Maybe even send it to yourself every week, Monday morning. Make sure you're checking out what's going on in your ads, and make sure you actually go into Google Analytics, see your time on site, how people are flowing through the pages. Maybe it's worth doing, a few weeks every time you launch a new landing page to check out Hotjar. How are people using this page? Where are they getting stuck? What are they looking at? What things are getting in their way from conversions? All of that stuff. And that's more than 80% of people are doing today. So.
Yeah. No, and there's nothing wrong with going close to the source and to the tools themselves. The further you get away, it's like things get lost in translation, as they say.
That's it.
That's awesome, Azriel. Final question here, and I'd like to close out on this. What has been in maybe the last year or last few years your biggest learning? And sometimes it can actually be a bit of what we call a mistake or a failure, or something that really kind of switched things around for you. And I thought I was going this way, but man, it's actually here, and this may affect you personally and or business. It can be kind of involved. So feel free to speak to that.
Well, I want to answer a Facebook one, and then I'll come up with like a better one, probably halfway through. But let's say I was on a call 2 weeks ago with a Facebook rep, and she was telling me what everyone tells you to do. For years, everyone tells you, how do you bring in warm audiences? You start with engagement campaigns and then retarget them to click campaigns and then video view campaigns and all that stuff. So I was sitting on the phone with her and I said, I think her name was Karen. I said, listen, I really appreciate your advice. The only problem is that I've literally spent $5,000 disproving your theory that you're saying today. And so she's like, what do you mean? So I said, I want to show you, jump into this ad, and just tell them the ad account, they could look at whatever ads you're running. So I have this company, and they have this thing as basically, guess who's going to win whatever sports thing, like basketball. Guess the next 10 games of basketball. If you guess them all right, you win. You split the pot of $100.
Right.
Over the weekend. So that's what they do. So we get signups for around $1, somewhere between like 90 cents and let's say $1.05. That's what we're doing right now. And I said, well, the client said, what if we just start driving traffic to the page? Run a click campaign, send traffic to the landing page, and see if we just get a bunch of people, we'll retarget them later, right?
Yeah.
So again, the cost per average signup was between 95 cents and $1.05. We spent $700 on a click campaign. We ran it to the same audience, the same ad, the same video, the same everything. And through the funnel, so the funnel's simple. The funnel is a landing page, sign up page, verification page, and then you're registered. That's the funnel.
Yeah.
We saw that we brought in like 1,100 clicks, which was around the same price per click as every other campaign, but 0 people ever made it to the sign up page.
Garbage.
So I told her, Karen, what the data we're looking at right now is that I spent $700 on clicks to my website, and not even one person even made it to the page to type in their email. Now, forget about like actually verifying their email address.
Yeah,
0 people ever made it. So, and this wasn't one client. This was 10 clients with $10,000 with testing across the board for every client, where I literally had to turn off all of my link click campaigns because they don't work anymore. They just don't bring in the people you want. So I'm at a point right now where all of my campaigns for all of my clients for every level of the funnel are running for purchases. That's cold traffic, top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. I literally had to change every single campaign I'm running to just be purchase campaigns, no matter what level of the funnel it is. And so like I spent $10,000 to learn it, but well, like that's what you have to do in this game. Like that's it. Like the only way to know this data. So now I want to give you a better answer. That's not just like all I do all day is Facebook ads.
Oh, I like that one. But yeah.
Let's see. My biggest learning. So my wife had a baby 7 weeks ago.
Woohoo!
And
Nice.
And the, babies, I don't know what it is. They don't like sleep. I love sleep. This kid does not like sleep. He just doesn't like sleep. So I realized that if I don't get my 6 hours of sleep every night, it's going to eat somewhere else in the day.
Yeah.
Like it means that my workout won't happen. It means that whatever work, like, so here's a learning. Like you look at your day and you realize you have 24 hours in a day to do something. Anything you choose to do means you're not doing something else.
Yeah.
You're reading, you're not running on the treadmill. If you're whatever it is. So this is what I learned from my 7-week-old baby, that if you cut something out, you're going to lose. If you try to cut something out, it's going to hurt somewhere else. And so that's a very big lesson that I've learned. It has nothing to do with Facebook ads. So I sound like a normal human sometimes. And that's it. Like, like if you want to accomplish a lot, there's plenty of time in the day to accomplish stuff. And it's just a matter of deciding what's important and what am I putting my time into? Because if you don't, you'll turn around and you'll realize, like, I just spent 17 hours watching Netflix this week. And as great as Umbrella Academy looks, I probably should be doing something better with my life.
Yeah. No, this is great. In fact, you as you're talking, I was thinking about, I think it's Warren Buffett who was saying the biggest thing you can learn to do is to say no, which is sort of a relationship to that context of like the things you do or not do, and it's going to lose somewhere else. And no, that's a great roundout.
Yeah.
And
I want to make a comment. I just finished reading Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes, Kiyosaki.
Everyone else read it 20 years ago. I was 20 years ago, so I did not. But one of the points in that book that hit me the most was actually towards the end, after all that stuff, and he makes a comment about a friend of his bought like a summer home for $100,000, and he bought the next door home, the same exact one, for $50,000, and within like 3 weeks he sold it for $100,000 and walked off and sold it and made the money.
Yeah.
And then he saw his friend like 2 years later, and he said to his friend, like, "What's doing with that house?" And he said, "Oh, I'm still sitting on it." He's like, "What do you mean you're still sitting on it?" He's like, "Well, I know one day the price is going to go up and I'm going to make my money." And his response was, the money's not made in the sale, it's made in the buy.
Oh.
And well, it's great for money. But really what I took it out of that line was, it's the thing you choose to do today that affects most the result, rather than I'm gonna fix my problems later because I might have lost money, whatever. I'll fix it. But if you think today, like, what can I do today to maximize results? Tomorrow, the results will work themselves out. But if you're trying to fix if you're trying to fix your problems in the middle, like if you would have started 3 weeks ago, the results would have been way better. You could have been laying on the beach today.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably the best thing I learned from that book. And it's exactly this point, that if you could choose either to like let it go and wait till the last minute and figure it out later, or you could say, well, if I actually spend the time today, the results are going to be way better because the results are in the buy, not in the sell.
Yeah. That is some killer learning. In fact, you know, I recommend reading that book for anybody who hasn't read it, and maybe just reread it. It's really great. That's a great takeaway. And actually, now that we're kind of coming up on a close here, I think it's it's been about 30 minutes. This has been just too awesome, wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate your time. Where I know you have training courses, a lot of things, but I really want to let people in here so that they can find you. What's the best place to reach out and get you?
So the best place normally is my personal Facebook account, but I'm out of Facebook friends. There's no room.
Maxed out.
So I would suggest two places. Either my Facebook page, Ratz Pack Media.
Oh, yeah.
Or my LinkedIn account, Azriel Ratz. And if you really want to reach me on Facebook, which you should, I would love it. Send me a message on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. And I check my filtered messages. You know, they happen. Things get lost in there. But of all my platforms, the platform I'm most active on is Facebook. And I would love to connect you with there. Just, you know, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't think I should have more than 5,000 friends. I don't know what that means exactly. Here we are.
Yeah, that's great. And I know you have some great training. Actually, I signed up for it as well. Is that sort of something you find on the Ratz Pack Media site?
So I created a course last year on Facebook ads.
Yeah, it's really great.
And I released it for free. It was a paid course. It was a $300 course, and today it's free. I've had over 2,500 people sign up for the course. People say like you actually told me before this call started that you went through some of the courses.
Yes.
So if you go to courses.ratzpackmedia.com and put in the coupon code knowledge, shout out to Ty Lopez, then you get the course for free.
Nice.
Like 5 hours long. I actually just last night added a webinar to the end of the video, I literally recorded it this week.
Yeah.
Brand new webinar that walks you through training of totally different stuff that wasn't put into the course. And that's free. And I would highly suggest, if you're looking not at like how to test ads against each other, but how to look at Facebook ads as from a macro point of view, this course is really built for that. Like how to think about approaching Facebook ads so that exactly what we spoke about. Who do you target? What should you say to them? What the funnel should be? This is exactly what you learn in this course.
That's phenomenal. And I know also through your media company, you serve different types of clients. What type of clients? Is it B2B, B2C?
So most of my clients are B to SB. It's businesses trying to reach small businesses and entrepreneurs. And I sell high ticket products, so coaching programs, SaaS products, and basically a product over $1,500 to entrepreneurs and small businesses. So I help business coaches I've sold over $1 million in coaching programs using Facebook ads. I'm now doing SaaS products. And if you have an audience of, let's say, 50,000 people that know who you are, you have a Facebook page, you have an email list, maybe you have a free product that you give, and you're not using Facebook ads, you are probably leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table because using the retargeting stuff we talked about earlier in this call, you literally can reach your best people with the best ad for the lowest price every single time using Facebook ads.
Yeah, no, that's a great insight as well. And if somebody wanted to get started with that, they'll find the information to sign up, jump on a call, schedule a call, whatever, right?
I would say the best way is to reach out to me. The other best way is on my website, the Work With Us page.
Yes.
Breaks down that.
Yeah.
Schedule a phone call. Yeah.
All right. Nice, man. Well, this is awesome. I've had the pleasure here of 30 minutes of incredible knowledge, experience, insights, and direction. And, you know, it's always cool that, you know, when you do these interviews, I mean, I know some things too, but, you know, they always learn little insights, tricks, kind of directions that it's, who was it? It was Brian Tracy. You know, he's sales, right? Big sales.
Yeah.
And he said, either online or in one of his books, he said, what I do is I just grab somebody's head like that and I just tilt it this way. And not much more than that, because you already know a lot of stuff, guys. And when you listen to this today, you'll probably nod and say, yes, I kind of know that, but are you doing it, right? It's called take action and test it. And also, we didn't talk about mindset today. We could cover that another time, but this whole idea that, oh, marketing and ads, it's just an expense. No, it's an investment, but it's an investment to your business, but also your mind, your experience as you're building this is going to be much, much stronger, and you're ready for the tides or the waves that are simply going to happen. It's never a good day in Facebook ads, because the very next day it is, right? And then you're like, what the hell happened? And this is just the cycle and the world that we live in as media buyers, and it can get very stressful. That's why you need somebody like Azriel to help guide this sort of direction as well, because mindset is a big piece of it.
Absolutely.
So,
and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, yeah. Likewise. I'm going to stop the recording here, and thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.
Absolutely.